Welcome back. Pennsylvania. Well, they haven't been sleeping in Pennsylvania, I'll tell you. 2 more Jehovah's Witnesses charged with child sex abuse. We're going to get right into it. Now, what's interesting about Pennsylvania is Pennsylvania is the epicenter. It's where Jehovah's Witnesses started. This is it. So it's right here on the map. It's this Westmoreland County, just outside of Pittsburgh, is where one of the guys is from. But Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, that's where it all started. That's where Russell started this whole game, way back in the beginning. And now then they moved over to New York. When Rutherford came along, they had to move out of Pennsylvania. And they moved out of Pennsylvania, just a little backstory. That was because Russell's wife, Maria, was suing the Watchtower Bible and Tract Society of Pennsylvania because she wrote half of Russell's books. And in them days, the women didn't have rights, and then Russell assumed it all. And it was a court battle. And it didn't get settled until Russell died, and Rutherford came into play, and all the assets, Russell started moving the assets to New York, and Rutherford carried on with it to avoid any kind of illegal. It was all legalities. This organization has been all about lawsuits right from the day one. And scandals and sex scandals and not paying out, right from Russell, not paying out Maria properly. So it has a history if you look into the history of this religion. Now we're going to get right into the article here. This is the lower, where is it from? The Tribune. The Tribune, April 18th. So what day is it? It's the 18th. Now this article was April 17th. It was yesterday. And Pittsburgh men charged in state probe. So here it is. 2 Western Pennsylvania men are the latest accused of raping or sexually abusing girls, stemming from a statewide grand jury investigation of child sex abuse in Jehovah's Witness community. What a headline. You know, lately we've been plugging this in, Jehovah's Witnesses, and it's not a good name. It doesn't come up in a good way. These are the types of headlines that seem to surface. Now, here's the 2 guys that are listed. Ronald W. Mangone, 69, of the Lower Borough. And then we have Roger E. Zellers, 68, of Pittsburgh. So, neighborhood, they're separately accused of sexually assaulting girls about 30 years ago. Imagine that, ending your career. Here you are, 69 years old. Isn't that the time that the golden years, enjoy your grandchildren kind of a thing? Not these guys. It's not their golden years. 68 is the other guy's age. They've been carrying this around for a long time. So now, the ongoing grand jury probe of Jehovah's Witnesses, founded in Pittsburgh area and headquartered in New York State, began with a referral from a county prosecutor in 2019. So this has been going on for a long time, and this guy felt that the state should take a broader look at the issue, including Mangone and Zellers. 16 suspects have been identified and accused of raping or molesting children, some as young as 4. So yeah, there's 16 suspects now that have been identified in this grand jury case, and it's ongoing. So one defendant killed himself before he was arrested. And critics claim Jehovah's Witness elders have treated child sex abuse as a sin rather than a crime. And we can all attest to that. Any of us ExJWs, we know that. That's how it is. Now, documenting them in internal files, but not reporting them to authorities. And we looked at their elders' books, and it proves that. Now, a church spokesman previously challenged those criticisms, saying elders comply with reporting requirements and that members are free to report sexual assaults to authorities. You see, it does say that, but there's nothing in the elders' book where the elders actually do something. if the publisher or the victim wanted to go to the police, the elders just don't do anything. They don't encourage it or discourage it. They're not supposed to. They're supposed to be neutral. So you see what happened a while ago in the old elders book is it wasn't like that. And they really discouraged it. So they changed a few things in their wording now. But these guys are being held accountable for what happened 30 years ago, folks. So this shows us that 30 years ago, the way that elders book was written, you see, because this is an organization of control. It's a high control organization. As much as they like to separate their assets, and the kingdom halls are separate companies and the branches are separate companies, they've done that all over the world to try to separate liability. But the fact is, they're being held accountable because of their elders book. And they manipulate, it's a high control religion, and they do it through the secret elders book. And that's now exposed, so the courts are looking at everything. And because they destroyed records, the court's inferring that they're guilty. So this is what's happening all over. Mangone is charged with three felony counts of aggravated indecent assault, 3 misdemeanor counts of indecent assault, and a misdemeanor accounts of endangering the welfare of children and corruption of minors. Wow. Mangone was arraigned April 3rd before the New Kensington District Judge Frank J. Pallone Jr., who set a bond at $100,000 according to the court records, and he was released from the Westmoreland County Jail the next day after a professional bondsman posted the bond. Makes me wonder if it was Jehovah's Witness lawyers that posted the bond. A preliminary hearing before Pallone is scheduled for May 30th. Magone's family was actively involved in the New Kensington Jehovah's Witness congregation and later in the West End French congregation, according to a criminal complaint filed by the State Attorney General's office. In testimony to the grand jury, the women, now 37, told authorities that Mangone sexually assaulted her on multiple occasions between 1991 and 1994. Magone's attorney, Duke George, said his client denies the allegations. And the only thing I have is the criminal complaint. We haven't had an opportunity to cross-examine or do anything with reference to the case, George said. We have no discovery. I don't know what the district attorney has with reference to their investigation of the case. Eventually, we'll get all that in preparation for our defense. So this will be ongoing. So the woman's older sister, 49, also testified to the grand jury that Mangone had sexually assaulted her when she was about 12 to 13 years old in 1998 or 1999. And those incidents also were reported to the elders at the New Kensington Jehovah's Witness Hall, but not to the police, the Attorney General office says. Although Mangone cannot be charged with any criminal offenses pertaining to the older sister because the statute of limitations has expired, and the offenses demonstrate a common plan, scheme, or design that corroborates the younger sister's testimony, the complaint against Mangone states. And both women testified to the grand jury that in 2016 they had discussed Mangone abusing them, and after this discussion their mother was told of the younger girl's abuse, who reported it to the Jehovah's Witness elders, the complaint states. So it looks like the elders had full knowledge of this and didn't do anything about it. Okay, so that's that one case. Now the Zellers case. Zellers waived his right to a preliminary hearing Tuesday. He is charged with multiple counts of rape, statutory rape, involuntary deviant sexual intercourse, aggravated indecent assault, and indecent assault. And Zellers was being held in Allegheny County Jail on Tuesday. His bond was reduced from $500,000 to $500,000 to $10,000, according to the court records. His formal arrangement is scheduled for June 13th. A woman, now 41, testified to the grand jury that Zellers began sexually assaulting her in 1992, and the assaults continued into 1993 when she was 9 or 10 years old, a criminal complaint states. And these rapes required Zellers to carefully plan to be alone with the victim, the complaint states. And the woman's aunt corroborated her niece's testimony, authorities said. The aunt testified she once saw Zellers on top of her niece, and they were both naked, after which she told her niece's grandmother and her mother. And the woman's mother, who also corroborated her daughter's testimony, she testified that she met Zellers at the Sheridan Jehovah's Witness congregation, and that she reported the abuse to its elders. And Zellers was disfellowshipped for having sexual relations with the 10-year-old girl, according to a Jehovah's Witness document that the complaint says was obtained by the grand jury. In the document, Zellers said the incidences happened twice. That document stated that when asked if he would do it again, Zellers said he probably would, and was non-repentant, according to the criminal complaint. Zellers is being represented by a public defender, Art Ettinger, who said he was not permitted to make a statement for his client. So the Associated Press contributed this. So it looks like that's the end of the article. That's what's going on in Pennsylvania. It's not good. But anyways, they're uncovering it. Could you imagine being the Crown Prosecutor, the Attorney General office, Michelle Henry, the work that these people have to do to uncover all of this ugliness that's been going on for, this is back 30 years now, it's coming forth. And I believe this goes way back to Russell. We're right in the epicenter, Pennsylvania. Russell, he, the founder of the religion, as well as Rutherford, they were both very deviant people, if you look at the history. Well, that's all I have for you guys today, folks. And we have more news coming. So if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. It helps push the channel. Please like, dislike, whatever. It's all good. Throw in your comments. So thanks again, and until next time, live your life with love. Bye for now. Thanks again for watching. We appreciate your comments, your dislikes, and your likes. If you would like to support the channel, just press join and buy us a coffee once a month. Until next time, keep dancing, smiling, laughing, and most of all, keep loving those around you. And have a great day.
Produced by Fixing My Faith.